Hello, this is how to use KDevelop, the integrated development environment from KDE. In order to program for KDE, we are going to use KDeBuilder, the build framework. And after we build a module using KDeBuilder, we're going to open that module in KDevelop and see the features of the integrated development environment. Opening files, syntax highlighting, code navigation, debugging, running, etc. Let's see how I got to this page. kde.org, the official website of the KDE community. Get involved inside the main menu. If there's not enough room, the main menu transforms into a 3 lines button, a hamburger menu, and go get involved. In here, search for development. In here, it tells you how to set up KDeBuilder, which is the build framework from KDE. Allows you to build KDE Git repositories from source. There are many KDE Git repositories, and if you want to build a KDE graphical user interface application, more than one Git repository is going to be needed. If you want to build everything from scratch, all of the dependencies of that graphical user interface application. So we've set up KDeBuilder already. And then the fourth blue button here is configure the integrated development environment. And in here, we'll select KDevelop. Okay. This tutorial is a bit outdated, was from the times when KDevelop was using Qt 5, now it's using Qt 6. From the time when we were using KDE-src-build, now we're using KDeBuilder. So let's see if in broad lines this tutorial still applies with the current technologies. So it says that if you want to use the debugger inside KDevelop, which I do, then inside the configuration file for KDeBuilder, we should set the CMake build type to debug. Let's use a terminal. Let's have the documentation on the right half of the screen, work on the left half of the screen. And it says that we should edit the configuration file. So that would be tilde/.config kd-builder.yaml. Okay, let's see CMake options. dcmake build type equals debug. If you have a different value in here, such as rel with debinfo, then you should change the value to debug. Next up, it chooses a random KDE Git repository and we'll build it using KDeBuilder. Let's do that. KDE-builder bluesy-qt. I'm not sure why it would say things about bluesy-qt. It could have chosen a graphical user interface application, the Hello World application from the KDE community that I use in tutorials would be KCalc, the desktop calculator. So it's a KDE framework, doesn't have any other dependencies outside the Qt framework and ECM extra CMake modules from the KDE community. So it might depend on other third-party libraries that are not related to the KDE community, but it doesn't depend on any other KDE libraries or KDE frameworks. And then it says that I should start installing from my Linux operating system KDevelop. Let's see how that works. Let's see if this command line just works. What is it going to do? Install 3 applications. CLazy, which is a static analyzer for C++ source code with an emphasis on Qt. keep track, which is a tracer application, and KDevelop, the integrated development environment. There's clang, there's additional KDevelop deb packages. Compare. Okay, we can continue. We can see in the title of the tab inside console that kde-builder is still doing things in the first console tab. We have finished installing KDevelop, the deb package from Kubuntu 25.04, which is my Linux operating system. kde-builder has finished building the KD framework bluesy-qt. And now we can continue. So start KDevelop from the start menu. KDevelop. Okay, says that if we have a existing session, we should remove that. We don't, we just install KDevelop for the first time on this computer. But let's do what it says. So from the main menu of KDevelop, session, delete current session. Do you really want to continue? Yes. What was that? Hopefully there's no session and it says no projects in here. Okay, then it says from the main menu, project, import project. Okay, and we want to pick the cmakelist.txt file. Let's see that. bluesy-qt cmakelist.txt. The tutorial says from KDevelop main menu project, open import project. In here we need to paste the path to cmakelist.txt. And then next. And finish. A dialog is shown. Configure a build directory for bluesy-qt. It will guess all of the correct values. Build directory ~kd/build bluesy-qt, correct? Using an already created build directory. Installation prefix ~kd/usr, build type debug, cmake executable /usr/build/cmake, press OK. In here it's running the cmake configure step. This is the source directory. This is the configuration, cmake configuration type. And this is the install prefix ~kd/usr. It has found the dependencies, which is Qt6. Qt6 is installed on the system using Ubuntu deb packages in /usr. ECM is built using kde-builder and installed in ~kd/usr. Okay, let's see what it says in here. By default, kde-build will install everything into separate USR directory to avoid messing the system path. Okay, a file prefix.sh has been created in ~kd/build and then the project name, bluesy-qt/prefix.sh. Okay, but this is for running the, if there's an executable that's being built by the Bluesy Qt project. It's not needed for building, it's needed just for running. So it says auto tests manager test.cpp. Okay, let's do what it says in here. Inside KDevelop settings, configure KDevelop. So the main menu, settings, configure KDevelop, environment. So this is the environment for all of the projects. It's per installation of KDevelop for the current user. Let's see the tooltips. Batch edit mode. Says variable 1 equals value 1, variable 2 equals value 2. So we should probably not use this format. We should probably convert the new path environment. Let's see how to do this. Okay, so let's see. First of all, we want to run this prefix file. Let's see. Okay, let's look at the content of the file prefix.sh. The environment variables are path, xdg-data-dirs, xdg-config-dirs, Qt plugin path, QML to import path, Qt quick controls, and then 2 additional ones. Just a second. So this is my wiki page and mariusp.github.io. This page, community.kd.org, which is the official KD wiki, /user: and mariusp, and then the instructions for instance for the integrated development environment JetBrains CLine. You scroll until prefix.sh, and in here I convert this file, which is actually bash command lines. Export space, the name of the variable equals the value of the variable, and then it expands the existing value of the variable, and then it removes some values from the existing value of the environment variable. So all of these things, I will convert them to just pairs of environment variable name equals and then the correct value. How we do that? First we run the prefix, which we did, and then we run this thing. And we're interested in the standard output, which is this part. Okay. We got there, and then the instructions say that I should save this file because it is going to be needed for other projects and other integrated development environments as tilde/kd expanded minus prefix minus sh.txt. Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, and then we copy the contents of the file and paste inside this batch edit mode. Back to the instructions for KDevelop. It says batch edit mode. Copy and paste the contents. Click OK. Click OK on the settings window. Okay, so this is going straight for the debugger flow. Window, tool views, projects. We're here. Expand the tree view to one of the entry points CMake targets. How do we do that? How do we expand this thing? I don't know. So it's auto tests and then manager test.cpp. Manager test, this guy, and manager test.cpp. Manager test.cpp will be opened in the text editor view, which is this part. Navigate to the method blue z not running test. This guy, line 37. Put a breakpoint on the line with the open curly bracket. How do we do that? Right click on the line, toggle breakpoint, set breakpoint. Okay, and there's no indicator in the column with the line numbers. As is usual with other graphical user interface debuggers, a red circle or something. It's just that the background of the line has changed to this color, a light gray blue. In the projects view, right click on the CMake target, debug as compiled binary. This thing. Debug as compiled binary. Whoa, what do we see here? Okay, so that was an error in painting. Are we inside the debugger? An error will be shown. Could not start debugger. Where do we see the error? I don't see the error. Could not run LLDB-mi. Make sure that the path name specified is correct. From KDevelop, we need to uncheck LLDB support. So I can see that manager test, the command line executable, has been compiled and then it's being run. So this is a C test, Qt test, unit test framework, whatever, XUnit test framework from the Qt community, from the Qt framework, and it generates executable files, such as this one, manager test, which then are being run. And we can see in standard output, pass, warn, and then a summary. But we wanted this to be run not outside the not outside the debugger, but with the debugger attached, and that did not work. Let's try these instructions, which just say that you should try once to run the debugger, and then you disable LLDB, which is the alternative to the GNU debugger GDB, but from the LLVM project. And then you try again. Probably this time LLDB will not be used, but instead the GDB will be used. So let's see if that's the case. Settings, configure KDevelop. Is that? So the main menu settings item is hidden behind this greater than icon button. Settings, configure KDevelop, and plugins debugging. There's a class of plugins for debugging, and in here we disable LLDB support. Okay, and then do what we did before, which is make sure we have a breakpoint on line 38, and from the projects view, manager test, right click, debug as compiled binary. And it still does not work. The debugger doesn't stop on line 38. I have restarted KDevelop, and now resizing the tool windows works using this splitter. Let's look a bit at the other features except the debugger, and then maybe we'll be back to the debugger. So we saw that running CMake-configure worked correctly. We saw that building worked correctly. And even running worked correctly. Because there's no failed tests, and all of the libraries are found correctly, which means that the environment variables that we have set inside the settings have been applied. Okay. At the left of KDevelop, we have some tool windows, which can be accessed from the main menu tool views. There's one for the file system. There's one for projects. An interesting one for classes. Let's see manager test. Search works. All project classes, knows about namespaces. Documents shows the open tabs. Let's see how building works. Let's view the tool window for build output. Which is not visible here. Let me restart KDevelop. If you just start KDevelop and then go to the main menu window tool views, you will not find the build output tool window. Instead, you need to actually do a build. So let's build the CMake target manager test. Right click on it and then build. And now we can see the tool window. It says build. And now it also started to appear in the main menu window tool views at the very end, build. Let's build all of the auto tests. Nothing to do. Let's rebuild manager test. That would be clean and then build. So everything about opening a KDE project that has been built previously with KDeBuilder works correctly. The project can be opened in KDevelop. CMake if you just open the CMake list.txt file, KDevelop detects the correct configurations that KDeBuilder has applied to that project, such as the build directory, the CMake build configuration, the CMake executable that has been used, etc. And it also runs CMake configure automatically, which means that KDevelop has support for KDeBuilder, or KDSRC-build, or knows how to import from a existing correctly built KDE project using KDeBuilder the needed settings. And then CMake configure step works correctly, right-click install, right-click clean works correctly, right-click build works correctly. The CMake view of the project is shown correctly. And let's see if navigation works correctly. So we have a XUnit or manager test. Let's see if it knows how to navigate towards manager. So I'm hovering on top of identifiers, shows help. You can scroll through the help. Shows help for most of the identifiers. With the file where it's defined, the .h file, the file where the body is of the implementation, the .cpp file, uses, etc. And it knows Qt style doc strings, and probably also Doxygen style doc strings. It knows how to navigate to /usr/include for, in this case, for the Qt framework that was installed from my Linux operating system. Whereas manager comes from this project that's currently opened in KDevelop, which sits under tilde/kd/src/bluesy-qt. There's syntax highlighting, code folding, minimap, okay, I would like to see a structure of this file such that I can have a tree view or a combo box to jump straight to a function or a method or a class. There's this classes view, but I'm not sure how to scope this to just the file manager.h. Bluesy-qt. And then class manager. This thing. Let's go to the destructor. It goes to the definition, the implementation of the destructor in the CPP file. Knows how to go to implementation versus definition. Jump to declaration, control dot, jump to definition. Search. Analyze current file with CPP check. CPP check is not installed. Let's install it. Yes, I want to continue. Let's do this thing again. Analyze current file with CPP check. Fail to start CPP check. Let's try a CPP file. Yeah, that's not helpful. Let's see the other static analyzers. Analyze current project with CLazy. There's a tool window that's called Problems that has a tab for the output from CLazy. Queue property should have either notify or constant. Where's the documentation of this thing? Of this warning? Slot returns types. Okay, so if I hover on top of a CLazy warning, it shows this pop-up with additional documentation about the warning that has been triggered. So let's see what it says. Non-constant queue property is missing a notify. Okay, the rest do have notify. CLazy is pretty much oriented to finding cute issues. So in your source code, if you're not doing the latest and greatest state-of-the-art coding techniques related to the Qt framework, then you can use the help of the tool CLazy, the static analyzer. Missing emit keyword. Emit or qemit. So analyzing the entire project for CLazy is still running. We can see the progress in the status bar. And we can also see inside of this tool window, the test tool window says that it's running inside the build directory of BlueZQt, a thing that's generated by KDev, which is KDevelop. So a make file that is generated on the fly by KDevelop, and then that thing is run through the GNU make executable, which runs the CLazy checks. Okay, and then once that is finished, it says finished inside the test tool window, the progress bar in the status bar disappears, and it takes you back to the tab CLazy inside the problems tool window. Convenient, handy, seems to work okay. C++ range loop my detach Qt container. Q hash. Pass a context object as third connect parameter. There's a connect with just 3 parameters. Yeah, so except debugging, everything seems to work incredibly well and correct in this scenario that we're using, which is programming for the KDE community using kde-builder. If I switch between tabs, I can see that the text inside of this edit box changes. Says navigate outline of the active document. So it's not really a edit box, it's actually a combo box. And it's what I have asked previously, which is to see the structure of the current file. Declarative manager with its constructor and methods sorted alphabetically. Adapters add function. So this is not a member function, not a method, but a free function, static. So if I click once, it's expanding this toggle expander, shows me documentation and the information that you probably get if you hover on top of the identifier. And if you click twice, then it's going to navigate there. But then I do not know how to navigate to the free functions because the expander behaves in interesting ways. All of the navigating to methods seems to just work. I want slot adapter added, double click, and it goes there. I want devices add function, single click works okay, and double click, nope, nope. So for free functions, I need to click once, get the expander with the documentation, the short documentation about the free function, and then click on the file name colon line. Okay, I generally do not use these Omni boxes, Omni search boxes, quick search boxes. I do not know how to use these. Okay, so everything is here. CMake items, the targets, and the fact that you can build, rebuild, clean, install, run these CMake command lines on these targets. Let's see what it does. So it goes Ninja and then says names of targets inside the Ninja file. Okay, makes sense. Let's see how it installs the manager test. It still needs to build a bit. So Ninja has finished building, including manager tests, all of the auto tests. Let's go right click on manager test and install. and see what it does. Says Ninja install. I can't prove that it's running Ninja install just for manager test. Maybe it's running Ninja install for the entire project BlueZ minus Qt. It needed to build, so it does incremental builds. There were some translation units which were not fresh enough. And then says install into tilde/kde/usr. And this is exactly as expected. So the fact that it runs Ninja install is expected if you go right click and install on the project top level node in the CMake view in the projects tool window. But if you right click on manager test, you would guess it's going to install just this test, but it's okay. The fact that it installs the entire project is okay. And it also runs the command that you would expect. You would expect either Ninja install or a CMake command line that also runs Ninja install at the end. So very, very pleasant surprise and pleasant integration with between KDe-builder and KDevelop. The fact that I see the full output is great. The fact that I see in which directory it's running, which command, also great. We know that execute as runs correctly. So the only issues that I have found until now, this is probably an older version of KDevelop. It's the one that's packaged in Kubuntu 2504, is the visual glitch. I'm not sure how to reproduce it. Yeah, this glitch where I see debug tool window and manager test tab twice. If you just resize, the glitch disappears. Okay. And the fact that I do not know how to make the debugger work. Maybe I don't have GDB installed, maybe I don't have Yama set or whatever. But it also doesn't complain, so I don't know how to help. It was as expected, really. The debugger just works, but you don't select lines where you cannot break. You select ones that do have debug symbol. So I have selected the line 41, not the line 38. It's the line with some source code. Let's stop the debugging, if I know how to. Stop. Okay, let's remove both breakpoints, this guy and this guy. I need a tool window with the current breakpoints. Where is that? Okay, so once you have the breakpoint put on a line with source code, then you just go right click on the CMake target and debug as compiled binary, and it does what you expect, which is stop the debugger on line 41 and show you in the main toolbar the buttons for debugging, build stop, stop all, step over, step into. So debugger just works great. Thank you.